Okay. Who said swear now?
A new editor,
Y'all come on in.
White Jenkins, which is Barney White and his wife and his
You'll sit
children.
here on the tall stool?
Yeah, that'll be good. That's Kelly. No, that's Whitney. I'm sorry. That's Whitney. And Barney and his wife Tina, and Amanda, and Kelly. We're so glad y'all are here with us this morning.
And these are new folks in the community. Now, Barney is the new editor for our Light Champion, right? That's correct. And of course, we hear from you every week on this. But to have a family come in that's new to the community, and I guess we need to get your impression. What do y'all think of Center, Texas? Now, that's a big open question. You can't sit here and tell us all the dirty, bad things, but I'll try to get those out in a minute. But how have the folks been?
It's been real nice.
Really? Where are y'all from? Where y'all moved from to Center?
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Okay, so that's quite at least a geographical change. Were y'all in a metropolitan area in Nebraska?
No, it was a rural area out in the central part of the state. We're originally from South Arkansas, which is very similar to Center in terrain and people and lifestyle and that sort of thing. It's very different from Nebraska. So when we moved there, we found quite a change. And then when we moved to Center, even though it's a new community, to a large extent, it's like going home.
Right home, yeah. So probably it's more interesting to y'all was the time y'all spent in Nebraska talking about weird Yankees, right? We can talk about them now. Couldn't do it a few months ago on that. But
the main difference is when I phone somebody's office now, I have to say who I am to get a return call. There, I just said, tell so-and-so to call me, and they knew who it was because I was the only one in town to talk to them.
Like that. I know exactly what you mean. I can call, in my business, I can call these people in like California, New York, these brokerage houses and things. And now I'm on a first-name basis with the answering operators. They know exactly me. I mean, this is from all over the United States. And I don't think we realize our talk is very different from maybe a lot of other areas like that. What about Center do you find you like? And we'll go into the dislikes in a minute. But what do you find that you like in Center or in rural areas compared to going like to Nebraska?
We like Center very much. We could talk for hours on all the things that we like about it. I think there are some things that are different from where we came from, but by and large, it's a pretty good community. Yeah. It's reasonably progressive, and the folks are real friendly.
Yeah. What I'm thinking about is, like guys like me that have been country bumpkins all my life. Okay, I was raised in Tenaha and Shelby County, went to Nacogdoches College, came back to Carthage while in the Center. So I've been here. And all these people that I've grown up with have moved to the big city and living these, quote, sophisticated lives and all this. And yet I chose, I guess, a lot of times you wonder if you chose or not, but to stay rural. What is it we're missing in the different areas and cities and whatever? And that's the kind of perspective I'm coming from. As compared to Nebraska, what is it that you like about coming back home? Just the idea that it's closer to home or more like home?
It is closer to home. It's more like what we're used to. As far as a comparison between city life and rural life, we're really probably not qualified to give you that because when we lived in Nebraska, we were in rural Nebraska.
The largest area we've ever lived in is Greenville, Mississippi.
Okay. What about the church environment there? The church, Nebraska, we're in the Bible Belt, okay, basically. Was it somewhat that same religious atmosphere? Because religion is a big part of the cultural atmosphere.
Definitely. You couldn't have asked for a better area as far as your churches were concerned. It took us a while to break into the church because it had some really weird names of religions there. But we're in I guess you'd call it the fundamental church there.
Yeah. Really more or less you didn't hear like Methodist, Baptist.
We heard of some of them.
Some of them, but mostly it was the different names.
Well, like the Christian Life and Evangelical Free and things that we had not been familiar with. The church we were going to, I had never heard of a Berean, but they were called a Berean fundamentalist. And Berean, I guess was basically their name, but fundamentalist was how they the denomination.
Yeah. We found the doctrine to be very similar to the Southern Baptist Church, which is what we had always gone to in the South. There were no Southern Baptist churches in that county, in that part of the state. But that church was doctrinally and was very similar.
What about, you've hit center in a political time. Are we pretty typical, the things that you've been hearing in other small areas like ours?
In the South, pretty much. In Nebraska, people are very interested in government and politics and that sort of thing, but it's not as active as it is here. There doesn't seem to be as much, if you pardon the phrase, skullduggery in politics there as there is in a lot of areas of the South. People take it seriously, but they're more reserved about it, I think.
In other words, no name calling. Well, I think you probably have come at the most, would you say, activated period that we've had in a long time, you know?
I'm sure you use a lot of descriptive terms to describe our political environment.
Which, in a way, to me, I think it's better than apathy, you know, and not having any concern, you know, because I think everybody's concerned about improving, you know, from both sides. That's what we're concerned about. Well, girls, what about you? When you changed schools, what was the biggest thing you had to get used to when you came to Center, Texas? Did you have anything that was a big shock for you?
Well, there were having some subjects I was behind in some, and, well, it was just kind of a different atmosphere.
You just had to get adjusted to that?
It's more like our high school in Nebraska. It's more like high school in 6th grade.
So you just had to get used to the difference, you think, more than anything else?
Yeah. It made the buildings are designed differently. It's harder because we had 2 teachers for the whole school period, and I was behind in math, and they were ahead of me. It was harder, but I'm catching up now.
Well, good. That's real good. What about you, Whitney? What grade are you in? 3rd grade. Spelling words? That was your biggest difference? Okay. Well, it makes me feel good. I don't know. I know you don't like to think you were behind, but it makes me feel good about our schools. You know, because you always wonder, well, are we pushing our children enough? Are we? Because we hear so much about, you know, the other, especially foreign countries, we've been so far behind. So at least it makes
may not be as much
better.
behind. It's just different emphasis at different schools.
I think that's,
you know, it's probably the same. Probably they emphasize different subjects that if students from center would go there, they would be behind in different areas. You know, I would imagine that. I don't know if, did you have, the thing that's always bothered me about living in Center, Texas, this idea of, what are you going to do? You know, where do you go? You know, we have good restaurants, good this, good that, but then golly, in a small town, you do 3 or 4 places, and all of a sudden you're out of the new entertainment comes after the 2nd or 3rd month. And, you know, I think that's a problem we have in our town as far as people going out of town to purchase things. They do it, I think, a lot of times for entertainment, not necessarily because it's not available here, you know. And that's something we've kind of been faced with. Are we typical small town availability of merchandise and things? How does that impress you here as far as our business community?
the business community seems to be really great. My parents were here the other day, and they were riding around, and Mom said, I'm afraid their census is wrong, because you get too many businesses for 5,000 people. I think that you could probably get most anything you want here. Mm-hmm. But, of course, you do shop out sometimes just for the idea of wanting something to do for your entertainment.
We have such a large pool, and I'm sure Barney's aware of this, with a lot of attention from the outer, smaller communities, that come into Center, so I'm sure that's how. But Center is, I'm very proud of Center, the way the business has been able to prosper in the past year and the economic problems that others have experienced. There's been very minimal business.
I'm sure something, this is something that I think that Barney's probably aware of now, is that Center is not just a town, it's a countywide community. That's true. And we, a lot of times in Center, I feel a guilt complex talking about Center does this and Center does that, and boy, Center has done good tax-wise and all this. And it's not really the people of Center that have done it, it's people of Tenaha and Tinston and Waukee and Shelbyville, and, somewhere in that, I think, we need to stay aware. All of a sudden, these folks in Tenaha are going to shut off the water, and that'd be the deal. But we're a countywide community. Have you found that as far as news and everything goes in the last changes?
Yes, definitely. It is a countywide community, which is really not something that I'm unused to, because in the rural area of Nebraska, where we live, we had people there who routinely drove 60 miles to come buy groceries. It's just because there wasn't anything any closer. Right. People here people in the outlying communities have more choices. than what they did there, places to shop and places to go. So I think it speaks very well of Center that they have chosen to come here.
And of course, then your reporters are likewise going to have to travel that distance to cover all the news, the school events, because the Light Champion does cover all the local area schools and all. So have you encountered any problems with that? Do we differ there geographically?
No, we don't differ from a lot of community newspapers that have this same situation, because what we find is that the staff that we're able to afford from this size community is split up to try to do coverage over the whole county and several communities. And that spreads us a little thin sometimes, thinner than what we would like to be, because of the distances involved and the fact that there's 5 city governments and there's 5 school boards and there's 5 high schools for sports and there's 5 of everything, whereas we really can't afford enough staff for coverage for 5 communities.
What about sports? We always hear on the news that Texas sports is a different animal from the whole world, Do you find that coming back from the newspaper in Nebraska, back to Texas again? Are sports a bigger item for little high schools and things?
No, they're not. Sports is a big item everywhere. I've often said that it doesn't matter. To a lot of folks, it doesn't matter what city or county government does with their money, just don't interfere with their sports. And the main difference that I have found in Texas, particularly with college sports, is that there are so many schools and so many teams, and the allegiance of people is divided up between the UT and A&M and several others around the state. Whereas in Nebraska, the University of Nebraska was it as far as football was concerned. Everybody in the state supported the Cornhusker team. There was only the one. I even know folks there who had their sons wait a year to start to elementary school, so that when they became college football player age, they'd be a year older than the competition.
Yeah, that happens in Texas too. We've heard a lot of that.
Well, I've heard them talk about it. I don't think I've known anybody that actually did it, but they've talked about it. But I'm sure it
they
has
did
been
over that
done.
TV thing a jig on the national network. They had about doing that in different parts of the country. That Texas was bad about it in different parts, about holding back their kids when they were older. And the main reason that Texas was not graduating them from when they reached the senior level, holding them back a year so they'd be better prepared for college or get another year played at the local high school.
Well, sometimes the growth at that time, because, usually they're real scrawny. About the 1 year out of school, they put on 20 pounds. That makes a difference.
So we added a new sport. We have been a little lax in sports coverage in the newspaper this year because we didn't have the manpower for it. I've been trying for some time to hire a good sports guy, and did get one started this week. So I think our sports coverage from a news standpoint will improve dramatically over the next few
Okay,
weeks.
you want to tell us who he is, so we can be expecting to hear from you?
The gentleman's name is John Kruger, and he was formerly the sports editor at the Daily Sentinel in Nacogdoches. At this point, I've just got him on a part-time basis because he's involved with some business interests with his dad, and we're negotiating, trying to get him on a full-time basis or someone. But he's going to be working quite a bit, particularly at night, which is good because that's when most sports activities go on.
Is he related to our Krugers who are here, have been here already, the dentist and his brother?
Not to my
I remember seeing that name after you mentioned that in the paper this past
And there's not a
week.
lot of those in
That's unusual. That's considered, yeah. Well, can you think of anything else that you'd like to say to the community that you want us to do or change our ways or anything? We're real proud to have you as our new editor in town. And
well, thank you. I'm very, very pleased to be here, and I'm sure the rest of the family is as well. We found it very nice.
we really enjoyed it.
Do you girls enjoy the school and found some new friends and think that they're nice to you and everything's going pretty well like you want it to be by now?
You really put them on the spot there. I was going to say, well, this teacher is doing something. Now, adults know how to handle that, and they can be very guarded.
I think they enjoyed it so far. Who wants to go to school at their age?
Well, and sometimes it's kind of hard for them to change, but since they have moved, this is their second major move, I'm sure, at least since they've been in school. And I think it's real good for them. You hate to make them change schools, but you make so many more new friends that you wouldn't make if you're in the same
I think
place.
it's harder at the age I am because everybody's got their own little group, and here you are. Well, can I stay here with you? Can I talk?
Well, maybe they'll be more aware of that now, though, because it is always real hard, especially, like you say, the older ones have a harder time adjusting than the younger ones. But we really appreciate y'all coming in and sharing with us this morning. taking your time.
We enjoyed it.
Let the community meet you, and we're sorry the radio people couldn't see you. We're going to have to get Dan to rig up something and boom a picture across on the radio so they'll know what the pretty girls that Barney and Tina have.
Thank you.
We're glad you joined us this morning for the coffee shop. Now stay tuned for the men's Bible class and afterwards for the church services, and Wayne and I will be back with you next Sunday. Have a good day.